Really proud of the team, really proud of the coaches, the way they handled the bye week, the way we learned from our mistakes, penalties, turnovers, all of those things, unforced errors. And, we told them all week, Mike Flynn gave us some stats about when you're plus in the turnover margin, +1, this percentage of wins, +2, +3. We harped on that the whole last 2 weeks, and just really proud of the guys taking those lessons to heart, offensively protecting the ball. And then you really saw tonight the defense really going after the ball to create turnovers and cause fumbles. So just really proud of them. It was a complete team win, offense, defense, special teams, and, just the things that these young men have to go through in this day and age that we're living in right now, to keep coming back every single day, follow the protocols, follow all of the things that we ask them to do in this program, come out, learn from their mistakes, figure out ways to become a better and better football team. Just really proud of who they are. Not only are we've got a bunch of great players, but just a bunch of great men in that locker room, and just really proud of them. I don't know what else to say, Mike. It was a good win, and just excited. We'll have tomorrow to recover. That was a physical ball game on a Friday night, and then Sunday we'll come back to work, and we understand that we have a great football team rolling into town at noon next Saturday, and so we've got to get ready for that clash as well.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Coach Collins. If you could, please use the raise hand function within Zoom if you have a question. We'll call on people individually, beginning with Daniel Shirley from The Athletic.
Hey, Dan.
Daniel,
Hello.
going once, going twice. Okay, we'll move on to a question from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports. Daniel, we'll come back to you.
Hey, Rod.
Hey, Geoff. How big was that touchdown right before the first half in terms of momentum and going into the locker room?
Yeah, absolutely. So we always Pat Boyle, who handles our strategic data analysis, we talk about the middle 8 all the time. We knew we were going to be on the kickoff return to start the second half. So getting those points right before halftime was huge. I thought the offense was explosive. They were dynamic. They did some really good things against an odd front and a really good team. Got positive yardage. Just that situational football component was huge. And I thought we played really good situational football throughout the night, and continue to have some really positive things that we can build on.
Next question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Geoff. You guys had trouble with turnovers and both getting enough on your end and then also having and tonight it seemed like your guys kind of willed the turnover battle, and then Geoff really showed some maturity and, throwing the ball away and running when he needed to run.
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, if you talk really we've got 3 true freshmen that are playing a ton of ball for us on offense. We knew going into the first couple of games that there were going to be some things that we would have to mature, we would have to develop, but just hats off to those guys, the leadership that's around them that helps them become the big-time players that they are, and they're going to be even further moving forward. But just really proud of the maturation on all levels, the leadership. We had a bunch of young guys play on defense too. So just proud of the way the older guys, the leadership meetings that we've had, just the tempo, the tone, the demeanor, the mindset, the process that we've been talking about for the last 18 months. It was really good to see over the last 2 weeks them buying into the process, applying the process, and then we told them in the locker room, if you work the process works for you. And they did that, and we just got to continue to build on it every single week, because every week has a new life of its own. And, if you don't do the things that you did to be able to have this success, then you can't repeat that success. And so we know we've got a great opponent coming into town next Saturday. We've got to go through all the processes that we went through last year, elevate them even more so that we can play at a high level versus a great team.
Next question comes from Dan Matthews from 680 The Fan.
Coach, two-parter. Hey, Coach, two-parter here. Just one, what Jameer meant to you guys tonight, but also the second part, just what getting a win like this when you're the only game playing tonight means for this program.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you can play downtown Atlanta at night, prime time, the only show in town, you know all the other college teams that are playing tomorrow are sitting around watching us play. Even the NFL guys are sitting around and turning the TV on and watching, the white and gold or whatever color. We were in the color rush tonight, so we were the navy and the gold. Our players have picked the uniforms, and I thought they did a great job with that tonight. But I just think it speaks volumes of what we're building here, the young men that we have in that locker room that give us a chance to compete at a very high level by the way they approach their daily life around this program. And just really proud of them and glad that they were able to have some success after doing the work and working the process the way they did at such a high level.
Okay, now it looks like we've got one from Daniel Shirley from The Athletic. Daniel, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that, Coach. You guys had 4 different players catch balls over 30 yards. Was that something you thought you could do tonight is attack them deep?
Well, I think every play that Dave Papno draws up in our offensive staff, we go in there with the intention of having explosive plays, and it's nice when it comes together. And, Geoff was able to see the field and made some great throws, and then we had some great open field runs. The decisions that were made on some of those explosive plays to not get personal fouls, to not do something out of character for who we are. I think Amari and Brown, if you go back and watch the drive before the half, the block AB had on that play, Adonica Sanders on that play, spraying that thing really big, and then the one Malachi going down away from the north stands going to the south end zone. Just the blocking downfield, the awareness, and just the fight and the will that our guys showed tonight was awesome.
Our next question comes from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah, you mentioned the fight and the will. I thought it was interesting. You guys obviously had a lot of trouble with them on third down, but the last 4 series of the game, they go fumble, punt, downs, and the game. And obviously they had a really high load of plays. Just what do you what did you see out there as your guys were finishing up the game on defense?
So first of all, want to give hats off to Scott Satterfield, the head coach at Louisville, one of my dear friends. The things that they do on offense are very unique. They were doing a ton of unbalance. They were doing a ton of tackle over, a lot of shifting and motioning. They line up in the pistol with really good players and a really good offensive line. A lot of the formations they were throwing at us were unique, and so we just had to get used to the things that we were seeing. We were misfitting some things early, and once we got those things cleaned up, the third down piece, there were a couple of missed assignments. We had some things wired, losing contain, not running a stunt here or there. We'll get those things cleaned up. But the way they addressed and took coaching at halftime was huge. I thought Andrew Thacker and our defensive staff made some really good halftime adjustments. What'd they give up in the second half? 6 points. So just the adjustments that Coach Thack and the defensive staff made, and our guys dialing in and being able to execute those going down the stretch, I think that's huge. So you got to have the piece of the X's and O's piece, but then you also have to have the buy-in and the trust from the guys, and then be able to go out there and execute it at a high level. Our guys did that, and really proud of them how they came out in the second half. Really good.
Next question from Charles Odom from the Associated Press.
Hey,
Coach. Hey, I wanted to follow up on Jeff Sims. Can you speak more about his maturation that you referenced, and what areas have you seen him grow, and were you especially impressed to see your whole offense protect the ball on a rainy night?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the things that we practiced this week. We did some wet ball things this week because early in the week, the forecast was for 90% rain tonight. So we did some wet ball things throughout the week. We were intentional during preseason camp. Whenever we had drizzly days or we had rainy days, even though we have a great indoor facility, the Brock indoor facility, we intentionally during preseason camp, whenever we experienced some rain, not lightning, but just rain, we would make the offense go out there and practice in that kind of weather just because you can't simulate that unless it's really happening. So just those kind of little details that our coaches apply is really good. One of the things that we really cleaned up from the previous game, there were some plays that we have that we want to go right now. Then there's some plays that we need to have a mic ID. We need to see safety rotation. We need to see where the 3 technique, where the G and all those things are. And the biggest piece of the maturation of Geoff is understanding which plays we can go right now, which plays we need to let Mikey redirect the front, redirect the protection, redirect the run game, and him understanding that and being able to address it and fix it and apply those lessons, really good. He's a very poised young man. Never gets too high, never gets too low, but he comes to work every single day. Dave Patnode's done a great job with him, and even the other quarterbacks in that room, helping him be able to play at such a high level. Was really proud of the guys that weren't even playing a lot tonight. Their energy, their juice, how they were behind each other the entire way through. And so I think we're going to have to get a whole bunch of Juice Crew T-shirts to divvy out because there was some energy and some juice on that sideline, some positive energy.
Have time for a couple more for Coach Collins. We'll take our first one here from Steve Hummer from the AJC.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, Geoff, I'm going to probably run out of adjectives for Gibbs here pretty soon. Can you hear me okay? Hello?
Yes, I can. Yep, yep.
Okay. I'm going to run out of adjectives, I think, for Gibbs. Could you kind of maybe help me out a little bit with the kind of energy that he provided both on the screen pass and the hurdle for the touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player. We targeted him early in the recruiting process last year. We trusted our evaluation. Tashard Choice did a great job developing trust and building such a good relationship. But Tashard does that with all the running backs in the room. They have a really good dynamic in that room. We've got some complementary players in that room. I thought Dante Smith played at a high level tonight, finishing the game off for us. I thought Jemias Griffin had some tough runs, and just the things that Jameer can do running the football, obviously, but in the pass game, that's a really good skill set that he has. But I think we've got a really complementary room at the running back position, and just really proud of them, how they all come in, complement each other, still pulling for each other, cheering for each other. And, when they do get their touches, they try to make the most of them to help the team win. And, very humble guys that just come to work every single day. And none of them really say a lot. They just come out and work and run, learn the offense, learn the plays, trust that big offensive line that we're developing. And, I thought the O-line played at a high level tonight too. And we had the 2 Dylans back out there tonight too. That was really, really proud of them, coming back and contributing at a high level on special teams and on offense.
Okay, time for last one for Coach Collins, and we'll take that from Ken Segura from the AJC.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, you mentioned the offensive line, and obviously against Syracuse, it was a tough go for those guys. How did you see them getting better? And how, like you mentioned their play, it seemed like they handled blitzes better, and were making the holes. What was your assessment of those guys?
Well, I think it's the fourth straight game, Ken, that our offense has gone for over 400 yards. I think they're moving the ball really, really well. Our offensive line is protecting at a high level. Our offensive line is letting us run the ball at a very high level. I guess we seem to forget that we ran for over 260, 270 yards the week prior. So the offensive line is playing at a really, really high level. Tonight, we protected the football, and we're able to move the ball down the field, score touchdowns, have some explosive plays. But I think the offensive line has played at a really high level through the first 4 games of this season. The transformation that has taken place at that position is unlike anything that has happened in the last 30 years of college football. And they are doing a really good job. Brent Key, our offensive line coach, is doing a really good job developing, recruiting, building that offensive line for them to play at such a high level every single day. I'm so proud of that room, how they manage this team, how they lead this team, the physical nature that we have running the football and in pass protection, our character, our determination, our fight, our toughness, our grit is singularly exhibited on a daily basis from our offensive line. I'm really proud of them, who they are, how they play, how they carry themselves, how they study film, the process they go through every single day to do what they do at such a high level without getting a lot of credit, without getting a lot of glory, but they do it every single day at a ridiculously high level. So I'm really proud of that group.
Okay, with that, we'll end tonight's press conference with Coach Collins.
Mike, can we end on something positive? I don't want to end it on a
okay.
Ken, you're my guy. Yeah, listen, I'm going pumpkin patching tomorrow, but I'm going to be going looking at pumpkins. I'll be masked up, and I'm going to have a great day with my wife and daughter. Enjoy the day, watch some college football in between the pumpkins and apple cider and whatever else we're going to do. But so let's end on a happy note, because that was a lot of fun out there tonight, Friday night, ESPN, the only show in town. So let's end with a little positivity there, Mike, please.
Terrific. So is there one more question that we can end on for Coach? Daniel Shirley from The Athletic.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, give us something we can end on positively here, Daniel.
Mr. Positivity here. Jeff, you guys have already won 2 ACC games, and you won 2 last year. You talk about being a developmental program. Yep. What does that say about how far you guys have come already in a year and 4 games?
Yeah, and I alluded to it earlier. The biggest thing last year is we wanted to improve week to week, and we did that. Won some games down the stretch, played some other really good teams, really, really close. And then we've gotten better this year. We played some good ball. We've turned the ball over, had some unfortunate, unforced errors that we learned from. But this group, and I told them, has a chance to be really good in the present. I don't think we have to talk in future tense. The way they went to work the last 2 weeks, the process that they've applied, that they learned for the last 18 months, and they've embraced it, and it paid off for them. I'm so proud of them. And now the challenge is, once you've had a little bit of success, are you going to let that process fall off? Or are you going to build on those things and continue to do those things at a high level? Understanding that next Saturday at noon, we've got a big-time opponent with big-time players, big-time coaches, big-time tradition coming into Bobby Dodd at noon. So we've got to be every single thing that we can do to get ready from a preparation standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from an execution standpoint. We've got to do that at a high level, but really proud of the guys, how they've embraced this culture, our processes, the way of life that we have in this program. And I'm just lucky to be here at Georgia Tech. It's a great place with great people. And Daniel, I appreciate that positivity at the end, man. Thanks, guys.